Hey home bakers, it's Jack here, bakewithjack.co.uk, bringing you your weekly bread making tip every single Thursday. And this week, how to cut bread properly. Hey, to some of you out there, this might seem a little bit obvious, but nothing's obvious to everybody. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there slicing door wedges out of your loaf of bread, which is a real shame to end up with a sandwich that looks like that when you've put all that time and effort into making your own bread in the first place. Now, way back in the olden days, I was a restaurant chef. You may not know that, but I was for quite a while actually. And at one restaurant I worked at, the chef there was very specific about how I sliced his homemade bread, and rightly so as well, because I'm not sending slices out to a table that look a little bit ropey. You want to send them perfect. So I used to slice them real nice, and he has to come and check them before I gave a little for the waiting staff to come and collect the bread. And if you may know where it was, if you're local to me, you may know where it was from that, because I don't believe I've worked anywhere that claps the waiters when they're ready to take the food away. Now, the starting point to your loaf of bread slicing is your knife, okay? Get yourself a proper knife. This one is proper, it's Victorinox. My brother got me this for my birthday a long time ago. I don't know where he got it from, but it's a smooth serration, and that's the point. Let me hold it up. Smooth serration, and it's very sharp, and it's also a little bit curved so you can get through the bottom bit of that crust nice and easily. Get yourself a proper knife, because you cannot do a good job with a terrible knife. It ain't gonna happen. Cut to camera 2. Oh, hey, just sat on the cat. Oh, hey, camera 2, how are you? There's only one camera here, Bakewith Jack Studios. It's a little bit ghetto, and that's how I like it. So this is how we're gonna film the shot. How do you feel about that? Right, the second thing that you need is a wood chopping board, a good chopping board. And when I say good, I mean wood, right? It's gotta be wood, because like, who's out there is chopping on some like glass worktop saver? It's only gonna wreck your knives. Get yourself a nice, good chopping board like this one. Slicing a loaf of bread, yeah, and bear with me, is a little bit like playing golf. When somebody plays golf, they don't just rock up to the tee and smack the ball wherever. They rock up to the tee and they stand properly. And as long as they're standing properly, lining up their body properly, they'll always do the same thing in the same way. Does that make sense? So the first thing you do is stand properly like this. Legs properly. Give yourself some proper foundations to stand on. Line up your body all nice and line up your chopping board and get your bread on it. Now, someone's already taken a slice off of this bad boy. A little bit wonky, which is perfect because I can take that little wonky edge off. Stand properly, hold the loaf in one hand, nice and steady, and get your knife at the ready. Now when we cut it, we're going to use the whole length of the knife. Put the knife steady, relax your shoulders, relax your knees, bend them a little bit slightly, and saw with the whole length of the knife, like this. There we go, take that wonky edge off, and we're good to go. That is it, actually. That is a little bit wonky. Knife on the top, measure your slice. This is how thick your slice is going to be. If you make a nice little cut there, you can see. Put it just to the side of you and use the whole length of the knife to saw it down the loaf like this, all the way to the bottom. The whole length of the knife, sawing it like you're sawing a piece of wood. Don't do like this. And another thing not to do is push down. If you start pushing down, squashing that loaf down, this is what's going to happen. Ready? Let me squash the loaf and push it down like this. You want a nice slice like this. Look at this beauty. Look at that. You see that? Yes, that's a proper sandwich. Use the whole length of the knife. Let me take this dodgy end off and I'll show you one more time. Yes! Yes, sirree. Look at that. Perfect. And there you have it. Nicely sliced, beautiful homemade bread ready for your toast or your sandwich. So here's the key points. Number one, get yourself a good knife, a proper one, the proper tools, a proper knife and a proper chopping board. Second thing, stand properly. Stand. Relax your shoulders. It might sound ridiculous, but it makes so much sense. Relax your shoulders, spread your legs slightly, bend your legs a little bit, and always do the same action, the same thing every time, and make sure you get the same slice every time. It makes sense. Right, the next thing you need to do is use the whole length of the knife. Saw that bread using the whole length of the knife. That's why they are made to be long, because you use the whole length of it. And the last thing is, do not push down. Do not squash that loaf while you're cutting it, because it will just make a dodgy slice like that one I made earlier. Nobody wants this to happen to the homemade bread at home. That's it. Listen, I hope this is helpful to you. This is something that was on my mind for a while, and I wondered about making a video, and I think it is a really important thing, because that's where your loaf triumphs, is when you eat it. And if you can't cut it to make it nice when you eat it, that's a real shame after all that hard work. And that's it for today. I hope this has helped you out. Please do click like, and don't forget, we're here every single Thursday, so click subscribe and you won't miss me next time. It really, 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 by the way, makes a difference by every single individual, clicking on that subscribe button. It really does. It's a simple thing, but it makes a huge amount of difference. I look forward to seeing you next week for another bread making tip. See ya.